Ooh, it started to get a little bit spicy. A little bit spicy between Johnny and Virat. Sam Perry, welcome back. Did you enjoy the spiciness? It got a little bit tasty.
I ordered some Indian last night for me and my family in at home. And one of the vegetable samosas...
Pandering to the audience. Wow, mate. Unbelievable.
Mate, we've only just begun.
You know what I'm having? A full English breakfast tea.
One of the vegetable samosas was too spicy for my child. Anyway, that's a different story. Hey, thanks for welcoming me back. Can I say, I firstly am very thankful to you for doing the show for the last couple of days. I'm sad to have missed some outrageous shit happening vis-a-vis Indian cricket, but I listened to your shows in the supermarket yesterday and fucking hosed myself. It was really funny, all of them. And my favourite parts were only, like it's the peripheral stuff is what I like. Just little comments off the side, if you've played 15 Test matches, you all stand in a circle. I'm just trying to get some bananas here. I'm just losing it and just repeating the phrase. He's got a bouffant. All the broad stuff.
It's a bouffant.
So I'm sorry not to have been here last couple of days, but I very much enjoyed your output. And then I turned on last night, and I didn't even click that it would start early. It started earlier because of some shit they need to make up, and I pretty much turned on to the Bairstow Kohli stuff. I don't know where you want to start with it, but But fuck me, like I thought this was very meaningful shit because I felt like.
Do ya?
I thought it was meaningful, but maybe not for the reason that, maybe not for the reasons you might suspect. Because I felt like Kohli was speaking for the grade cricket diaspora globally when it comes to this fucking Bazball shit. Like I reckon Kohli's just gone, you know what? All you got to do with Bairstow is wind this coat up. Just fucking wind him up. Like, because they're mates and shit. They're IPL mates, fucking arm around him and all that sort of stuff. Go and wind him up. I'm sick of all of this Bazball bullshit. Wind him up and let's see what happens. And what happens is it actually just unleashes the beast and he's on a different planet. And the lesson is don't make Johnny Bairstow angry.
Well, I thought that Bairstow started it because Bairstow, apologised. He seemed to say sorry and Virat was like, no, I'm not having it. I mean, literally the day before, there's a photo of them walking off the field, arm in arm, bit of drizzle. It looked like the poster for a fucking The Notebook 2. But it was like, and then the next day's abuse. Yeah. Is that from The Notebook 2?
Yeah. No, they didn't have that poster for the first Notebook. It's not obviously called Notebook 1. I had my eyes flickering.
They called the first Notebook The Notebook 1. It was quite obvious it was going to be a sequel.
The firmest indicator there'll be another one.
That's right, yeah. Ryan Gosling looks different in this one. But then the next day is just a beaut. They're in a toxic relationship. I mean, it didn't work at all because Bairstow, his first 15 runs came off 60-something, and then the next few runs came off heaps less.
Yeah, well analysed.
That's a stat dog. Yeah. So it didn't work. But if Kohli of all people should know that because if people wind Kohli up, he goes the other way as well. He goes into beast mode. So that's a bad read from Virat, I think.
You mentioned before that Bairstow apologised, but I just wonder if he apologised because Kohli still has cachet. If Virat Kohli gets angry at you, that's literally 100%. Your family doesn't eat for the rest of their lives. There's no more contracts anymore. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, Virat. You know what I mean? But sorry for scoring runs against you or making you angry. But what I liked about it is I felt like we were watching old versus new. In old grade cricket, diaspora thought, which is a common thought we all speak about. You wind up the loose player like Bairstow is. He's emotionally loose, and we like that about him. And then he gets out. You drag him into something, you make him angry, get him out of his comfort zone and stuff. He gets out. But this is some new school shit. And the question becomes, does Kohli still have the cachet to pull that off? Because he's just got successive scores of 20 and shit like that. I say yes.
Yeah.
I think he does. And because I think he controls more than just what happens on the field. Kohli.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
getting
would
Kohli
say-
angry.
I would say the weight of about 150 million Instagram followers carries some cachet in the modern day's game. In the modern game, that counts for a fair bit than Greg Chappell's, good average against
That's
England.
right. More than like I'm averaging 56 this calendar year, like 150 million Instagram followers.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
still
yeah.
worth more than runs on the field. I think the toxic relationship you speak about, that's some like high school, like adolescent high school shit as well. You can be mates with someone the day before, arm around them, but you're also rivals, you're frenemies. You know what I mean? Then you fucking hate them the next day. It just depends on what's happened on the sporting field in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, what about the celebration though when Stokes gets out and Kohli's like when Kohli does this, I mean that's very specific what he did yesterday. But, he loses his shit all the time when like a big wicket falls, right?
Yeah.
But I've never wanted anything in my life as much as Virat Kohli wanted that wicket. I'm looking for someone who wants me the way Virat Kohli wants that wicket. Because it was fucking aggressive and it's hilarious. And there's blokes on Twitter when he catches Bairstow after he gets his 100, he like blows a kiss to Hollies. Blokes on Twitter fucking losing it. This bloke's got more hundreds in the last fucking 2 days than you have. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, fucking that'll get him.
Yeah, blokes.
That'll get him. Are you playing for the
dressed
team?
up as
Are you
Wonder
12th
Women.
man?
Sorry, guys. Tweeting that in between pints of Hobgoblin.
A good drop to be fair.
It is a good drop, the old Hobgoblin.
Oh, Goblin.
Fuck, it's a good one.
No, the Holy Sand's good. The Holy Sand is good, and there's good vibes there. But I like when people think they're playing for the team on Twitter. That's good as well.
You want someone to want you as much as Kohli wants that wicket, and that's a very
I did
jarring
say that.
idea. If your bride, because I know that's the way you're inclined, I believe, actually walk down the aisle the way Kohli celebrates a wicket. Yeah, it would somewhat disturb the aesthetic of a wedding. Just absolutely tearing down the aisle like they've just taken a wicket. The problem with the skies. And running past someone in the aisle that they particularly hate because that's what they're trying to do, get in their face. Because that was the problem with Sky.
See, Dad, I can be wanted.
Sky picked it up because they showed obviously Kohli's celebration like 7 or 8 times. I think 80% of the time they were showing the close-in shot of Kohli from the bowler's stump cam. But the truth was he celebrated like that so he could run right past Johnny Bairstow's nose. Like, that's what he was doing. It was right in Bairstow's face, who continued to then plunder 80 or 40 balls because, again, he's on another planet and it's unbelievable how he's playing at the moment. I did note that, like, Sehwag, speaking of Twitter stuff, maybe Sehwag was in the Holly stand. Maybe he was dressed like Wonder Woman or something like that. But Sehwag sort of sledged Kohli as well. Like, he put up a stat of, like, he said like Bairstow's strike rate for the first half was like minus 21 or something, and then his strike rate once Kohli sledged him was 150. And there was some I think something he wrote in Hindi, I think underneath it translated, said Bairstow was playing like Pujara, but Kohli made him back like punt by unnecessarily sledging him. So Sehwag's contracts are fine.
He's.
But also, so a bit of a compliment for punt as well, to be fair. So.
Yeah. I suppose so. Now, what about this? What about this notion of what Bazball is, Pez? I mean, I see a lot of people upset. The experts on the internet, of which we are, but two. People upset about the way England are going about it. It's all very good, well and good when it's New Zealand, but can Ben Stokes keep getting 3 for 20 when he's batting, and people not get upset? I mean. The whole thing is actually coming together because Bairstow has now hit 300s in a row, and I've got to say now, Bairstow's played like 85 tests, and he averages 35, and he's hit 300s, 3 of maybe some of the most amazing hundreds this millennium from England. So they're not it's not just 3 tests; it's fucking amazing.
It's really it's not been going for that long. The millennium.
Well, there's only about 1,700 England have scored this year anyway, so it's kind of a bit of a. But yeah, man, is Bazball being saved by one guy doing it off his dick?
Yeah, Bazball is Bairstow seeing them well. Ball just doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Like Bairstow's just having
not as catchy.
Yeah, and that's why they don't call it that. Like is Johnny Bairstow's unbelievable non-planetary batting, like covering up for the rest of it being absolute dog shit. Like Ben Stokes, you said 3 for 20. You put it perfectly. The Lord dropped him off Shami. This is the most unlucky player to ever play in England. And then Boomer dropped him when he should have taken it. They are hard catches at mid-off like that, even though they look easy, they're hard. But he still dropped him and he should have taken it. And then Boomer is kissed on the dick and gets on the next ball and takes an absolute hang fuck around. You know those guys like who drop a catch
kissed on the dick,
and you just are waiting for the next wicket so everyone can be happy and you can say sorry to the bowler and it didn't cost us much. And then there are just those guys kissed on the dick and it just happens for them next ball. That's a thing in cricket. You know what I mean? They just they just get lucky. And if it happens to be someone that you hate, you're really unhappy with that. You want them to feel guilt for the rest of the day. But anyway, Boomer's kiss on the dick, good on him, takes a catch, and like Stokes, which is like true to this fucking Bazball philosophy, Stokes laughs a bit, you know, because we're playing Bazball now. And he's like, so unlucky. He's like, mate, you were out twice before this point. Like, you have played a deeply irresponsible innings. Your form does not... and this is Ben Stokes, one of the best in the world. Your form doesn't warrant that approach. Bairstow can do it. Stokes, like KP is basically tearing Stokes apart, going, see, Bairstow still his waist going forward. Stokes is out to square leg. It just like Stokes was trying to do an impression of Bairstow. You wouldn't have said that 2 years ago. Even I know when Stokes gets out, he laughs because it's Bazball. When he walks up into the sheds... I don't know who's sitting next to McCullum. Was it Collingwood? I don't know. And he like pats him on the shoulder, like, and it's because it's all like we're all happy and we all fail happily now. And that's just where I'm with Kohli. You know, like the great cricketer in me is just like it doesn't wash. You know, this is meant to be new age shit, like a new age way of thinking about stuff. It's like, mate, you guys have hit 280 off 60 overs. You're 130 behind. Now you're 250 behind in the game, or whatever the fuck you are, 270. You're getting smashed. There's no laughing. Don't laugh.
Yeah.
Or are we meant to accept this as like, no, this is the new way? Is the new way actually England are fucking terrible? It's just that Bairstow's playing well.
I'm really torn on this one because I also saw when Stokes got out, he smiled, and I wonder with Stokes. I mean, in the last like 18 months, he's obviously gone through some hardships in his life, and he's come out the other side, and he's taken a break from the game, and I wonder if cricket has been put into perspective for him, like put into perspective of like, you know, it's just a game and it provides me happiness, and I just do my best and all that kind of shit, or you know, or should he be like full on professional athlete? Fucking live and die by every ball that's been bowled. I don't know what the answer is.
It was a bit outward, like it was an outward laugh though. Like we can all be relaxed as we get out, like if we fail, but it was like there was a little bit demonstrative. I thought it was like I want everyone to know that I don't care about this. You know, like this is the way we're doing shit.
This is the way we're doing it.
A little bit. It's like I'm just thinking about like India's walked into this new Bazball style, and they're just like. Okay, we're pumping the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you guys can.
We're going to open the batting with Pujara.
Yeah, you do all your do whatever, all this shit that you want to do. I don't know.
What's the exact opposite of Bazball? Cheteshwar Pujara, who hit 50 off 139 balls. He's obviously had a great summer up there in the UK for Sussex, and India find themselves with a lead of 270 something. India's lead was 132 in the first innings. I thought England actually did pretty well to get that close in the end. Billings was chipping in with some runs at the end, 36 I think it was at the end there. It's 270, and now England have chased down 300 and 350 against New Zealand. Again, it's just this, India's so relentless, and you know, even though like Jadeja's hardly bowled, that option, when New Zealand came in, the equivalent of like Bracewell coming in, and Bairstow was like, well, fuck this. I mean, you just don't get that. You know, Shami's figures of Tufa, he bowls so well. It looks like he's not really much of a threat, but he fucking is. And then Siraj is all energy and excitement, and then Bumrah is like one of the best in the world. So it's like, it's just...
So they tried to take down Takua, who ended up getting... did he get Bairstow? No, Siraj got Bairstow, didn't he? Takua got Stokes.
Yeah.
He sort of broke the partnership.
Yeah.
But they took him down a little bit, yeah. And then they didn't even bowl Jadeja. You think, oh, Jadeja, thanks for coming. Oh, wait, no, he scored 100.
Yeah, yeah, batting at 7. Yeah, so it's a pretty good team. I don't know. I don't know where England sit with this. Excuse me. Pez, have you got hashtag RCGC there in front of you?
I do, and it's brought to you by ACCO, as is the show. Siddharth Sundar writes in hashtag RCGC, has the Baz Stokes aura been overpowered by the lingering aura created by Kohli Shastri? And I got to say, just harking back to the Kohli Bairstow moment, perfectly, with perfect symmetry, Ravi Shastri was commentating. And, like, mate, if, you know, they must have some good filters on those mics, because I feel like I could hear him licking his lips. You know, just like he was absolutely frothing at the mouth on Kohli taking on Bairstow, trying to get under his skin. You know, Shastri wanted to just rip off the suit, get that tracksuit on again, and sit on the balcony, presuming he has a balcony. I don't know if he gets to Kohli there or whatever. And I think I was saying this a few shows ago. Like the Kohli Shastri aura, that was a philosophy too, wasn't it? You know, like McCullum's trying to get England to play like fucking some sort of, I don't know if this is meant to be like some Bielsa, Postecoglou shit. Like I'm trying to teach them how to play a new revolutionary system. It's going to take a while. You know, we're going to have some, you know, kinks along the way. But Kohli Shastri was very mature. It was, you know, alpha, fuck that stuff, let's go hard. Kohli was still trying to bring it on from firstly. I don't know. I still think the Kohli Shastri aura is a much more developed one than Baz and Stokes. I'm not sure I'm quite buying it yet.
Well, also, McCullum's only been there for 5 minutes, and they've played, this is now their 4th test match. I'm not sure how much time he's had to, like, actually, you know, get them into a camp. Work on the shape, bit of tiki-taka stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure how much time he spent in front of a whiteboard just yet. So I feel like it's just go out there, give it a whack, see what happens. I'll tell you what's happening. India are on the march for a 3-1 series victory. And that's fucking pretty amazing to go to England. And I mean, anything can happen, but I feel like we all know where this is going.
Yeah, well, I got to say, despite the entire tone of what I've spoken about, because of what they've done in the last 3 games, England, like, I feel like India will need a lot of runs, you know, because the wicket has looked like flat at various points, and they still have, you know, Joe Root and Bairstow, and they made 280 off 61 overs, which is nearly 5 and over. There's heaps of time left in the game. All they need is just a couple of guys to come off, right? It will be. You're right about India just being relentless.
Yep.
Like even with Bairstow, I noted that Bairstow put the fucking cue in the rack when Bumrah came on. You know what I mean? Bairstow doesn't fuck with Bumrah. But he does everybody else once these guys come on. So, you know, England probably deserve the respect of, I wonder, you know, how they'll go, given that they don't seem afraid by chasing anything at any point. Like, I still think India is going to need a fair few more runs, which they probably will get. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's just going to be like, it's not New Zealand, is it?
I do think that, yeah. I do think that. And I also think at one point, I think it's going to be all out 60, playing 10 of the worst shots you've ever seen. At one point, that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, they've got, at the moment, they've got one guy who's fucking doing the most amazing shit I've ever seen. And the rest is like, probably all out 110, I reckon. About 300 short.
Because in normal Test cricket, the pre-Bazball or Bairstow ball era,
proper Test cricket,
proper Test cricket, like you get 400 ahead, and then like you slowly choke the opposition like a fucking python, you know.
Yeah.
And but like England just don't go that way, and that'll be interesting as well. Like, is there a total that India can bat England out of the game with? Or does Stokes go into the sheds and just go, all we need is 9s? We just need 9s.
For a day?
Yeah, for a day of 9s. How do 9 tails? Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Like, is it just, we're just going to get out for 60?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, it's coming. All right, we'll be back tomorrow morning to tell you what happened in the day's play. Or will we? I don't know. See you tomorrow.